So I'm gonna make this video. Bear with me. I'm gonna go with this. Some men should never, and it's probably gonna be harsh, but some men should never date American black women. It shouldn't even be a choice for you, because these women are so used to dealing with the same type of guys, and they don't understand the concept of, they don't understand the concept of order. Even the ones who said they like anime, they still listen to trap music. They still like Cardi B. The nerdy looking women, the fat women, the women who are not so attractive, they still have the same similar mindset of each other. None of these women in America is afraid to ever stand on their own. They're not afraid to ever stand with men, because they need the sisterhood. They need other women to survive. They would never know what it's like to be a man and having to do something on their own. See, I made a list on the reason why, some men should never actually date, marry, or be around black women. One, they call you socially awkward, right? When black men try to tell you to, they basically tell you to conform to what women like, and listen to women's bullshit, and look at movies that you don't want to look at, listen to jokes that you don't want to joke about, be around them even though they're obnoxious to be around women who got no personality, be around them while they spend money or talk off or attack other people or laugh at people or put people down. These women, these guys have a pattern of stuff that they all like. And here it goes right here. Most black men talk about sports. Basketball, baseball, whatever. If you don't fit into them categories where you don't like sports, they consider you socially awkward. I don't like sports. But when you can't talk about sports around them, you're socially awkward. You are a loser to them, because majority of them talk about sports. And they don't understand the concept of one black person or a group of black people who don't like sports. Two, they like rap. They listen to hip hop. Even though a lot of them say they're good men and they don't like the ghetto ratchet chicks, they contribute to the energy that the rappers, and they repeat the shit. They listen to it. I can say that you have a cutoff point for rapping, right? I don't listen to today's rap. The songs that I have are old. They're old. I haven't listened to rap. I haven't listened fully to any song in about 10 or at least 15 years. That's how serious I am. I'm into Brazilian funk music. I'm interested in K-pop. I'm interested in Indian music. I'm interested in all other types of music outside of the United States. I don't want to listen to all this other crap, but they contribute to it. So, third, everything have to revolve around sex. They make fun of you if you don't get it. They shame you if you don't get it. They make fun of you if you do get it from somebody who's not attractive. They everything has to be about sex. Everything has to be about pleasuring a woman, pretty much giving the power back to the woman. If you don't get it, you're a loser. And if you do get it by doing other means like paying for it, you get made fun of too. Like you don't have no game. The fourth thing, number 4, material things. They brag about things that they buy, like Jordans and watches and high power technology and cars and stuff like that. They'll make fun of you and put you in a lower tier because guess what? You can't buy a watch. You can't show off this and this and that and this and that. Number 5, they'll judge you based off what you look like, your fashion sense. They'll talk about what you have on, how you look, your hair. They're concerned with what you look like compared to them, like women. But this is what they do. This is what all of them have in common. Most black women black men seem to talk about. This is all part of the whole socially awkward bullshit that they preach out here. Anything mainstream, they all follow trends. They all talk about the same shit all the time. If it's sports, if it's the news, if it's a trending word, like right now in the black manosphere, the trending word to belittle a black man they think is below them is incel. They picked it up. First it was, you're homosexual. They used to use that as an insult, but now they found a word now. Any word that they pick up that's negative in the media, they pick it up and they beat it over the head of people they don't like. This is what they do. Trendy words, they do trending songs, they sing the same songs, they look at the same things, they talk about the same movies and look at the same movies and talk about the movies and stuff. And they look at you weird because you don't want to go to the movie theaters when a movie comes out. They don't understand from your perspective that you don't want to go to the movies because there's too many people in the movies and you can't enjoy the movies. You don't want to hear oohs and ahs around you. They don't understand that maybe you want to see the movie in the comfort of your own house where you can enjoy your food without paying extra money for it. But you're socially awkward to them because you're not talking about anything mainstream or any political stuff that's mainstream that they can see. But when you talk about something different that they don't know about, you're considered weird or socially awkward. Number 8. They make up different rules for different people. I heard around the black manosphere that criminals are the warrior class now. I didn't know that. Why is it every time an Asian gang goes into a black neighborhood, they take it over? Why is it that a Latino gang always come into a black neighborhood and take it over? Where's that whole warrior class mentality? Why is it that every time there's a shooting happens, right? They don't even get their targets. Why is it that they always pick on someone they think is below them and not pick on somebody just like them? Is that warrior class bullshit? They the warrior class. They the ones that have honor, right? And then they said thugs, the thugs and the dysfunctional men are the good men. They just misunderstood. Wait, but you're making fun of men who are misunderstood, and you're not even trying to get to know them. But you want people to believe that the men you like so much are the ones that are misunderstood? Okay, sure. Whatever you say. But they seem to try to make up different rules for different types of people. If you're not in the street, they think you can't fight. You didn't go in a boxing gym and box. You didn't train on your own. You didn't go to another country and learn a certain style or certain lethal moves. You a punk to them because you didn't prove it. You're not a big guy. You don't have this masculine energy falling out over you. They don't believe in the strong, silent type. They don't believe in never underestimate. So they make every rules up. Number 9. They make up a caste system to suit whatever. whoever they want. It goes along with the 8. They make up rules. They move the goalposts. So in their mind, they will think that certain guys they like are the ones that are most important. And then when you look at the community and you look at the whole race overall, we're losing because their decision to put these people up above other people who can do stuff. See, to run a country, I asked this question to a black person before. I said, if black people took over the country, how will you run the country? What would you do with the nuclear weapons? What would you do with the military budget? How will the laws change? What will happen with the laws? And they never answer. And if they do answer, all of it's bullshit. One person said that robbing from somebody ain't wrong. If they ran America, you can rob somebody because if you think the guy's a punk, you can rob him. If he talks about black women, you can rob him. And you can do something worse than him. You won't go to jail for it. Huh? So if somebody talks about somebody, you get to rob them. And one chick said, if any black men talk about black women, we're going to put them in jail. But y'all want power. What? That's worse than the so-called white supremacy that y'all trying to put over. Pay attention, and this is a tip. Pay attention to their personal caste system. Everybody, I might make a video for that too. After this one. Pay attention to their, I'm gonna say this for the next video. So, people might call me socially awkward because I don't talk to people like that. Alright, I stay to myself. And I found out that most people don't like the same shows I like. These are the top shows that I like right now. Ray Donovan, one of my favorite shows right now. Better Call Saul, that's from Breaking Bad spinoff series. The Blacklist, Walking Dead, and Homeland. How many black people you know watch Homeland? How many black people you know watch The Blacklist, or Ray Donovan, or Better Call Saul? So every time I walk into a position in a place with a bunch of black people, you can't talk to them. Most of the people I talk about with these shows are mostly white or Asian or other ethnicities, man. It's funny to me that you call certain black men socially awkward, but y'all talk about the same shit all the time. And the same shows. None of you even reach to go and watch something else. But then you want to call somebody socially awkward because they don't want to talk about the things you want to talk about and think the things that you think is funny, or watch the same movies you watch. So it seemed to me that when it comes down to black women, they get in these categories and they just, they go to these kind of men right here. Things all black women seem to like in men, right? I'm going to name them off by number. And this is why I say some men should never be around, date, or have kids, or marry, or relationship with black women. Never. Because they like the same men. And even the ones who don't seem like they like the same men, they still want to behave in a particular way, but it's a small percentage. But they're still just like the women out there in America, the black women in America. So they all seem to want to entertain a personality, somebody who's gonna always entertain them and make them laugh and never have a serious moment, someone who's always making them feel good. Oh yes, oh yeah, ha ha ha, laughing. That is their weakness. Because all the guys that they put up there on a pedestal who funny and charismatic and got a whole bunch of charisma, half of those guys are dangerous. Most of those guys are mentally ill. Most of those guys are broke. But that's the dark side of it right there. You gotta be an entertainer 24/7. They don't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if this guy does some crazy stuff to other people, as long as he's entertaining to her. That's their mentality. Even the nerdy girls, the ones who, oh, I like anime. I'm a nerd. I never liked those type of guys. I want to be around a guy who's smart and intelligent. And then when they get a guy who's smart and intelligent, but he doesn't fit their narrative and their looks, he's boring. So they want a nerd guy who is charismatic and all this other crap. But they have some nerve to say that they think intelligence is sexy. All of them like entertainer personality. 2, they like to have a punching bag, metaphoric punching bag for black men. See, the men that they don't like, they don't want them to go nowhere because they want to keep punching them. They want to hurt them, and they want to spit on them, and they want to make fun of them and judge them every step of the way. If you don't like what they like, you're a loser. If you don't dress how they want you to dress, you're a loser. If you don't have the haircut they like, you're this, you're that. If you don't particularly look masculine, but you are, but you just show it in a different way, you effeminate. If you question them, you're a loser. You're this, you're that, you're this and that. They need the men they don't like to stay there, to be backup plans, or to just be spit on to make them feel good. And they need you there to make the men they like feel good about themselves, so these men can still be what they want. So they use black men, these particular black men they don't like, as punching bags. 3, they want a human sex machine. They want a guy to always please them. A man can't have an off day. He can't be small. He can't have flaws down there. He got to have all the experience in the world. He got to be a porn star. He has to be the top level man. He has to have all these women behind him. He has to make her moan and scream. He can't have a learning curve. But guess what? When it comes to her, she can say no to everything. She don't have to satisfy you. She don't have to get up her game and skills. But you have to. You have to always please her. They want a human sex machine that's going to make them feel good whenever they want and whenever they need it. Number 4, a man who she can use. Okay. Basically, I wrote it wrong. A man that they can use to fill her lifestyle, to make her spending habits, anything she wants. And these are the group of women who say, I'm here to teach them femininity. And you know who I'm talking about. These are the women here saying, oh, I'm here to make sure that women understand that they need the feminine. They need to do this and to do that. What they looking for is someone to fulfill they looking for the guys they never liked to feed their spending habits. Because some of these women don't understand their level in life. They don't understand their position, and they don't understand where they are in life. You got unattractive women who think putting on makeup makes them attractive, and it doesn't. There's women out here who think they can buy the best looking clothes, but that's going to change their body. You got women out here who goes to trip to feel good and still don't feel good, and she's going to keep going to trip just to feel good. She's buying bags and handbags just to feel beautiful. These women are living beyond their means, and the men that they don't like, the men they love, can't feed their needs, so they get mad, or they try to change their identity and try to change their position and say, oh, I learned from my mistakes. I need a man right now to spin. I need a man. I need a man bank. I need a man ATM machine to feed her habits. Everything she feels, she's gonna pay for it. She's gonna make you pay for it. In a ring, wedding, events. She wants you to pay for it. She wants you to pay for it. Anything that comes to mind, she wants you to pay for it. This is a slave. The guy that she wants you to spend her spending habit, but she's not gonna give you anything for it. Her presence is enough. This is marrying black women and the mindset of these black women. She don't understand that she's not attractive enough to keep wearing that makeup. That makeup, she shouldn't be going out all the time. She shouldn't be trying to do all this crap that attractive women can do. Because most of the time, nobody's there to see them. They're there to see the best looking girls out there. You putting on makeup and putting on the best clothes to go out and show off the boyfriend that you're using for money so you can grab a guy that you really want is only hurting the guy. But they don't care. Number 5, a man to sacrifice himself for fun. This ties together with the spending habits, right? They need a man that they can drag along and put through hell for, just to prove himself to her. You know, you gotta watch stupid TV. You gotta listen to ratchet trap music. And this goes along with all the so-called different types of women and nerdy girls and all these other women and all this other stuff, black women. Guess what, man? They all listen to the same music. They all listen to this. They all listen to the same thing. They all worship the same type of women and people. They don't check none of these people they look up to and say, "Oh, that was wrong. Why she said that?" They all seem to like the same things and enjoy the same things and like the same men and pay attention to the same men. Ask a lot of them about certain things. They want to milk every last energy that you have just to satisfy them and to entertain them. You supposed to buck dance for them. Make her laugh, fight for her. Because she clapping her hands and giggling. You supposed to make fun of other men because it makes her feel good. You supposed to sell drugs because it makes her go to the club every day. Okay. Number 6, they like men who are dangerous and destructive because they think that the most, how can I put it, controlling the most dangerous things gives them power, like laws that sides with women, right? Drug dealers who sell drugs to other people, they don't care. They don't care if this guy is selling drugs to people and hurting people and robbing people and taking people's families out of their house, making them a shell of their former self. They don't care. These guys do it because they got families. Who try to make a family before they even have earn enough money legit before they try to create a family? What kind of backward ass thinking is that, where you create a family and then you say, "Oh, I gotta sell drugs"? But these women are backing these men, and everywhere these men go, they destroy stuff. You can invite these men to a wine and cheese party and watch them destroy everything and rob and steal. You watch them go into a high-end restaurant. They'll go out and start fighting in there. You take them to a place that's full of technology. Next minute you know, they'll rob the place. They're trying to think that they can get money from it to feed their habits and to feed their needs. These women love bringing these destructive guys, these guys that are bullies and soulless men and moralless men, because they control these guys. These women love dangerous men because these men will do anything these women want. Putting their life on the line makes them happy that they can have this guy at their disposal. And it's the so-called good women too, because these women so-called turn good, or so good that they always agree with ratchet stuff. They always agree with violence towards other men. They always agree that somebody's an incel. They always agree with somebody socially awkward, they need help and stuff. You never hear them say, yeah, but women need help too. There are women out here who have no personality. Yeah, they'll never say none of that. They love a man with a big ego. Number 7, they like a man with a big ego, right? Because the guy with the big ego, she can brag about him. That puts her in a higher position among her friends and among her families. Yo, he walks around with his chest out all the time. Even though he can't back up half of the stuff that he does to people, or he can't even back up a lot of things. But as long as he's confident and she believes his fake stories, hey, that's okay. That he's lying to her. As long as his ego is big and it could fill a whole entire mansion, hey, because it resonates with the woman with the black women's egos. They need someone with the same ego as them, because men with big egos, they say and do anything they want. They don't have consequences, and that mirrors the women. They walk around in life without consequences. They think consequences never happen. They think that they can do stuff, say stuff when they're younger and say, well, I was young, I didn't know no better. But they had examples of women in their family that did the same thing when they were younger. But no, and some told them about it and they still wanted to pursue and do it. They like men with egos and they call it confidence. It's arrogance. Somebody who's confident. I'll tell you the difference between confidence, real confidence, and the confidence that women like. The confidence that women like is the confidence to walk around and bully people and tell people what to do and get in people's face without knowing what they're capable of. Real confidence is walking around looking the way you want to look. Even if people telling you ugly, bum, all this other stuff, you look the way you want to look, because guess what? You don't give a fuck what anybody say. You standing on your own 2 feet. You look and dress how you want to look. That's real confidence. But they don't understand that. Number 8. A man who live without consequences. Just like they do. See, they don't mind a guy who's just gonna do some off the wall stuff. You see all these women out here who are in a car. Just recently, a guy who shot himself. He was on a freeway. He just robbed a gas station, and he was out the window shooting at the police. It was a woman in the car in the passenger side. They shot at him. Then he shot himself in the car because he know they was closing in on him. The woman went out, put her hands up. They like men without consequences. This is why they always make up certain excuses about the men they pick. Oh, these men are honorable. They're honorable beating up on weaker people. They're honorable shooting random people in the street. They're honorable doing reckless things to people. They're honorable. No. They live without consequences because the fact is they're the same as the women. Women always walk around without consequences. Black women walk around without consequences. They'll talk about you online. They'll talk about you in your face. They'll laugh in your face, and they think that nothing really is going to happen. They think nothing's going to happen to them doing stuff, saying stuff to people, treating people like crap. They think that because they said something to you when you're 19, you should get over it now because she's older and I learned my lesson. No, you still said what you said when you're 19 and you know right from wrong. Same thing with a man who robs a person when they're 19 and think the same guy should forgive him for when they're 30 and say, yeah, I was young. I was young. Think about it. They sound just like each other. Oh, I was young. Every time life hit them in their ass and consequences come smack them in their face, they always make the excuse, I was young. I didn't know any better. You should put a video next to them saying the same thing. And every single time, they never want to hear the story of a nerdy guy. They never want to hear the story of somebody who had to deal with their shit, who got robbed, who was treated like shit. Oh, you should get over it. Go to a therapist. You need help. But it's never said with them that when they make mistakes, they never make up for them. They always go around thinking that just because they say they're nice now, that everybody should believe them. Right? They live without consequences. So they like their men to live without consequences because now both of them could come with an alibi and both of them could come with an excuse. Number 9. She wants a man who makes her look better, right? And this comes in when most of these women want a man that makes her look better, right? This is why you got fat, unattractive women trying to go after the same type of men, and they get an ego when they get some kind of sexual attention from the guys that they really want. But they know that these guys are not want them. They don't want them. They know that these guys are not gonna scene with them in the light of day. They only come over at night and have sex with them. That's it. Like, it becomes more of them walking around, and it's like, I need a man for the day to make me look better, to make me look a certain way. So this is what the nerdy girls say, that they like nerdy men. But overall, they cheat on these nerdy guys with the thugs guys that they get sex from. But they don't know the guys that get sex, that have sex with them, even though they're ugly, unattractive, they're their backup plan. But they'd rather be a backup plan to a guy than be a main guy who no one likes. But they will use him for the status and the narrative. To say, well, I'm a nerd. I have a boyfriend who's a nerd. You hear them say this a lot. Oh, I got a nerd guy. She's not telling you any context to it. And if you ask her, okay, what he looks like, this and this and that, then you'll find out this guy's not really a nerd. He's just someone who likes one particular thing, and she puts nerd tag on him. Or these women who say, I don't like the thugs. I ain't never messed with them kind of guys. But they mess with a guy who used to be one of them, but she puts the tag on him as he's never been that way. That's what it means, that they like men who make them look better. Okay, now, these are the things that women overall in America don't like in men. They can't be with a man who don't talk about anything mainstream, who don't follow trends, who don't look at the same movies. They can't connect to that guy. They don't like it. They don't like a man who stand on his own and say, I don't listen to that. You can go with your friends or whatever, you can go there, but I don't want that. Don't listen to that video stuff around me. Don't talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. They don't like anybody who's not in the mainstream or talking about the mainstream or use buzzwords or put people down because of sneakers or keep up with fashion. They hate that. This is why they call you socially awkward, because you don't talk about mainstream stuff. From fashion to TV shows, from movies to video games, from animes that's popular, all this other stuff that's mainstream, if they can't talk about none of this stuff to you, then you're considered socially awkward. They don't like men like that. That's number one. Number two, they don't like a man who's smart. They don't like a man who plans his days out or plan his day and say, hey, I don't want to talk to you on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I talk to you on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because those are the 3 days that I wanna give you, but I'm not gonna give you all them days. I want to give you about 4 hours so I can enjoy my day from my weekend. A smart person planning. They don't like a guy who will give them structure and say, no. I'm not doing that right now. I do that some other time. They want somebody to just be stupid and dumb and listen to them. They don't like men who smart with their, they don't like men who are smart with their money at all. They don't like men who put limitations on them and be like, yo, no. Don't do that. They hate it. They hate smart men. They hate them. That's why they don't never date the guys who don't never been to jail and stuff. They don't like men who can always seem to dodge drama and trouble because they don't have nothing to talk about with these guys and they don't have nothing to benefit from these guys. They hate them. Number three, they don't like a man who can't be controlled by sex. So this is why you don't never see them with certain guys who they call socially awkward or, not experienced or whatever, because they would have to be on the spot on their skill sets and stuff, on their sexual skill sets. And a guy who can't be controlled by sex, they can't weasel their way out of them not having a personality, or them having bad spending habits, or having bad family members, or ignoring some of the red flags that they present themselves. Because a lot of women mask their ridiculous personalities and their mental health issues and all their drama with good sex. But if you can't be controlled by that, they be like, whoa, I don't want to be around this dude. He's too dangerous to me. He's not going to believe everything I say. Number 4, they hate a guy who's low key. They need validation from other women to validate their relationship and the man they're with. If they with a guy, this is why you see a lot of big women with skinny men and they show them off online to validate I can get a man even though I'm big. The same women who say, oh, I'm a nerd, I have a boyfriend. Oh, I'm this and I'm that, I got a boyfriend. I got this and I got that. They don't want a man who they can't show off. They don't want a man who's smart enough to say, don't tag me and stuff. I don't want to be outside with you like that. Not because I'm embarrassing, because the fact is, my own thing and I got to do this and I got to do that. None of them will agree on terms of like that with a guy who's low key. They don't like low key men who stay out of trauma and trouble and not violent. They hate them. Number 5, a man who's good with money. They don't like them guys. Somebody who's good with money will always have money in their pockets. And women get a rush out of getting help from other people. And they get a rush out of making bad decisions and making overspending stuff. So if they with a guy, they want the guy to slack up and pay for what they want. Same thing. It's the same thing for number. Yeah. That's what they want. They want a guy that will spend anything and everything on them. That won't say no. I gotta use this for my bills. I gotta use this right here for this and this and that. Their expensive habits, as I said. And number 6, they don't like a man who will challenge her skill set, her social status, and her lifestyle. I talked that right there. If you have all three of them, if you challenge a female mentally, she'll start to deflect or lie. If you challenge a female in skill set and you're better than her, she will deflect and lie on you. If you challenge her social status, she'll embarrass you in front of everybody. See, a lot of these women will never go down and try to date down. And I'm not saying date down when it comes to money, but date down socially. They would never go out with a guy who is low-key, smart, but just don't be around a lot of people. They have to find a guy who has a friend or another friend or hang out with a group of friends so they can scope out all the guys that this guy's with, so they can plan out, or they can plan to sleep with that guy. Oh my God, his friend is kind of cute. Maybe we can get into a scenario where I'm sleep with his guy and his best friend. These women are conniving, but they don't like men who challenge that. They don't like a man who got one friend and don't hang out with his family. They can't use that for their advantage. They hate it. That's social that's come in the social status category. They need a man that will never challenge them on their social status, that they can just jump from friend to friend to friend. They need a guy who is never going to challenge them in their skill set or their lifestyles and make them question their lifestyle when they at their peak, right? That's the 6 things that they don't like in black men, right? Now, the ego of the lower tier women in America, black America women, is off the charts, man. This is why I say, black men who are, so-called unattractive or whatever, they shouldn't ever consider dating black women, because black women being around them or having kids, none of that. You should never even. Some men are not made for black women. Some guys are not made to be with black women at all, because these women out here, their ego is so overblown that it becomes more of a laughable thing that these women get to go online, post what they want, even though they never meet a certain standards of weight, of looks, of lifestyle, of anything. And they have the nerve to have all this ego and all of this, like, they just out here just thinking they're the top tier, when none of them are actually top tier and no one calls them out on it. And it makes it worse for certain guys out here who really do want to date these women, because they have no choice, because they are told by guys who tell them to self-improve. Oh, well, lift weights and get mental health issues and go get mental health and do this and do that. And water seeks his own level. And then you got these women right here who don't even know their level, who don't self-improve, who don't go get mental health issues, and who like the same type of man, and who think they deserve they think they deserve the top tier men. And guess what? They will throw a guy under the bus that they with, who worked his ass off but can't do better in the looks department in the black America. And then you end up with women like this, who got all these demands, but she don't even fill none of the categories that you want in a woman. The Steve Harvey situation with his wife. The consequences that these women don't never think of. Like I said, they like men without consequences. So Steve Harvey's wife pretty much dated this drug kingpin, and she was part of that operation or whatever, right? And now she got her man parting. I wouldn't be surprised if she was cheating on Steve Harvey with him. But this man ends up getting out of jail, turning on her to make a tell-all book about her. And that overall cost Steve Harvey a few jobs because of his wife's past deeds. But these women don't get it. When they mess with certain dudes, you can't get immunity from that. It comes back to you. And it follows you. And it could hurt the man that you choose to be with now because you wanted to do something early in your younger years. And this is what Steve Harvey dealing with. A guy who's trying to make money off Steve Harvey lifestyle because it's not his wife. Nobody know who his wife is. She's a low-level female who jumped over her best friend and took her best friend's wife. Took her best friend's husband, and all she did was sleep with a drug dealers. Now, mind you, she slept with, I think, 2 brothers and one of their kids and whatever. It's a whole messed up family situation, right? Now she hurting Steve Harvey's money, and I'm no fan of no Steve Harvey. I don't like the dude. Black women dropped the ball on that one too when they believed his bullshit when he said think like a man. They put themselves in a bigger hole, right? This shows you that when a woman makes any kind of mistakes in her life and she gets with a guy, it's on her record. Because the guy that she's with is still out there. The men that she's with are all out there. They still remember her. And they might try to bring it back to you. Or it might affect you. An ex. It takes one ex to break down someone's relationship right now. And they don't think about that. The situation with the hood dude and these 2 chicks, 2 sisters. They share the same man. They have kids by the same dudes. They love dysfunction. Obviously. This is another thing of talking about that they have tarnished records. Why would I want to date somebody who slept with the same man as your sister? That's nasty. And your kids are 2 types of family members at the same time? And you didn't know that your sister was sleeping with your man? Or y'all didn't care? Right? Wow. And you supposed to forget a female's past. You supposed to say, well, she made that mistake when she was younger. No. If you're competent enough and you're grown enough to have sex, then you should be grown enough to know the consequences of that shit. This shit doesn't end. You can't wipe away your kid. Even if you abort the kid, it still shows up. And if it's not going to show up physically, it's going to show there mentally, and it's going to show there spiritually. So it's insane right now that some of these people out here and these women, they make these decisions and they think that people should forget them and they should hide them and just don't be upfront. And then they want to act like they don't share the same men. This situation right here. These chicks always love danger. They always seem to love danger. And it costs them their life all the time. It seems to always catch up to them. And this situation right here is proven of it. Like, there's more and more of these stories coming out like this. Because these women want to mess with street dudes and all this other stuff. Because they think it's a fun life to do with that. And imagine that. She moved on from this psycho dude And then she got with a new guy who's nerdy or whatever. And then eventually this guy sees her and her relationship. What you think he gonna do? He gonna get mad and he gonna take his frustration out on her and the man that she's with. Now she just brung some problems onto her new man because of her decisions. They want a guy who is gonna worship and kiss their ass, no matter how unattractive they are. Like, and that's what I mean by them not knowing, not having trying to think of the word. It'll come to me. They're not self-aware of their own position and their own looks. If you're not really attractive, you shouldn't ask for a man to kiss your ass. And it's the same thing for a man as well. If you're not this stud guy, you shouldn't want that kind of level of shit like that. You shouldn't demand it. You should demand cooperation, but you shouldn't demand the chick. If you're not that top level guy, you shouldn't try to overdo certain things. Ugly, unattractive women want you to kiss their ass. They think they got the same privilege as upper women. They think that they can be annoying, and get away with it. They think they can all waste all this money and stuff on high price stuff and get away with it. Like, you're not attractive enough to rock all that stuff that you have on. You're still an ugly person. You just got expensive things on. It's like a baboon or a gorilla with makeup on. It's still a gorilla. They don't know their place, but they all want guys to worship them. They don't understand that when you think you're better than somebody, it makes guys don't want to date you or be around you because you think that you're better than somebody, and you want guys to worship you and wash your feet and do all that when you don't even have the looks for that. And you don't understand that you should ask the man for that. You shouldn't require a man for that. You should know your place. Like, hey, I need to do my own stuff because I'm lucky that I have a man at my level and at my looks, my particular looks. But none of these women think that they're lucky to have a certain guy. But the guys on the opposite end who are unattractive and are told to seek their own level and date on their level, these guys are simps to these women. But these women are not simps and loyal to these men, even though they're not attractive enough. These women want rings. They want to brag online to their other friends for the rings. They want you to pay a lot of money just to make them look good, right? They want to be able to go out and buy overpriced stuff and feel happy about themselves. This went into one of the list that I made. Right here is a female. Like I said in my other video, they love dysfunctional men. They love that. They love this stuff. So her story is that this was her man right here. But at the same time, she said she liked anime and video games. And she got with a nerdy dude. So a year after this, like 2 years after this, her boyfriend came out of jail. And guess what she did to the nerdy guy? She dumped him. As I said, man, some men are not made to be with black American women. They're just not. They play too many games and they always end up with the same type of stories and always do the same shit. This shit too. A group of women get pregnant by the same dude. This is an automatic target. This is automatic right here as a fact as, hey, you're contaminated. Most of these women right here are contaminated by these guys who are in jail. You don't know what that dude's mental health history is. You don't know what kind of DNA he has in himself. But you have kids with these guys, and then you try to pawn that off to other guys, sharing the same kind of dudes, and then thinking that the guys that you never wanted or never looked at should be taking care of you and your kid that you got from a guy from in jail. As I said, man, overspending spending habits. This is ridiculous right here, man. $5,000. This ticket costs $5,000. This chick betted. This is the spending habit. This is the reality of these black chicks out here, man. This is the reality that you're gonna have to pay if you date one of these chicks. After she been with them thugs that she didn't put the price on him. The Nicole Michelle way is women who spend money like this all the time. It ain't just she betting your hard working money away. Women with mental disorders. Say what you want about Will Smith's son and everything else, but the fact is he always seemed to be a little bit more happy when he's walking around with another race of woman. And this is not me trying to put these women on a pedestal, but you would find it easier to find someone compatible with if you just did outside your race. You won't have to deal with all these other problems. You won't have to deal with all this other crap. You will find a female that that might be for you and might not make you try to change into what she wanted to be, and she won't put you in drama, and you won't have to worry about no ex-boyfriend. Look at his girl. She's low-key. She got boots on that look like they're, I don't know. And look at her wardrobe overall. She's not wearing anything expensive. She knows her level of attracting. She knows her level in looks. She's not trying to go above that. She's not trying to buy her way into a better attraction level. You know, this is the chick that he was another chick that he was with. Normal looking. She might not have high expectations. She might not walk around with the expensive stuff. She's simple. Some men just want something simple. Not women who think that they deserve the whole fucking world and think that they should buy everything, that the high price, high quality shit all the time. Somebody simple and normal. I had an incident that happened on Facebook a couple years ago, right? And then I seen this story and I looked at the chick name, right? And I'm trying to find this screenshot, but overall, this chick and her daughter killed all her family members. A couple years ago, this chick said I had mental problems. And this is a number of females who go around telling people they got mental problems, but their family got mental problems and they don't fix it. Their family got drug problems, they don't fix it. This chick said I had mental problems. And then a few years later, she does this shit? So who really had the problems? I'm not in no news for no stuff like this. And every single female who ever came and approached me or said anything about any of the people I know who said somebody's incel or they socially awkward or this and this and that, They always end up in drama, or always end up on the news, or always end up like this. This is insane. But these are the women who try to sit back and try to tell men how to be men and try to say all this other stuff. These women are tainted and they're tainted, and they're just, you can't find a good one in this because it's too much to dig through. And they don't make themselves known, and they don't separate themselves like they should. Look at this shit. Then you got this right here. Then you got them right here trying to look at this, man. They, as I said before, they think life don't have any consequences. They think that they can shit on guys when they're young, and when they get cracked out by the men they love and they enjoy, and then they walk around in the street looking like half of what they looked like before, that you supposed to forgive them because they were young. And you be like, I remember what you said to me. You supposed to forget it because she's older now and she needs help. All these women are at their ends. None of them are at their prime. None of them are at their best. They don't want you. They don't want the guys that they don't like. And they don't want the guys the list that I made. They don't like that. They only like that when they're strung out on drugs and like that. Like they don't want you now. They want you now. They want you to help them now. They never go to your therapist after that. They need a man to heal them. They never see a financial advisor. They need a man to be their wallet for them. They're always praising these guys. This guy, he attempted to shoot a police officer, and look at all of the praise this guy is getting from black women, no less. Telling you, man, some men out here don't ever feel like you the outcast. Just look at yourself and say, yo, I'm just not made for black women here. I'm good with that. And when you have that mindset and say, yo, I'm a black man not made for black women, then it makes you look and be like, damn, something wrong with them. I'm gonna stay away from them. I'm gonna keep my distance. Because when you start to keep your distance and you're not around them and you don't have to impress them and do all this other crap, your life move a lot smoother. Because they like dangerous and they like a lot of different dysfunctional things. Then you got women like this who's showing her requirements for you to pay her $6,000 and $6,000 to date this chick. Told you the egos match the men's. Rent, car note, lights bills, gas bill, water bill, cable, trash, cell phone. Why would you get a cell phone bill that costs $500? Do you need that kind of cell phone? For what? To take pictures? Are you a businesswoman? Do you need a fast, high-level technology device where you're paying $500 for it? Are you serious? Insurance, groceries, $400 for groceries. Are you serious? For one person? Told you. These women are high maintenance for no reason. They want you to be broke for them. They want you to do some jail time. They want you to feel like you're in prison, like the men they like. So when they finally realize and when they finally open the gates from that prison, you would take anything that they offer you. They want you to be locked up in the dating market for them. So they can just open the keys to the gates and say, date her. Be her wallet. Be her healer. Make her forget about her past. They don't care, man. If their lies put men in jail. Plenty of men out right now in jail because of females' lies. But they want to ignore it. You don't never see any of these women make stories and make all these advocates on Facebook and all these black advocates on YouTube. Do any of them make stories about men and their heartaches about what women do to these guys? They never do that, but they want to act like they did for men. These are the men they like. These are the men that they think is attractive. Guys on drugs. Guys who, like I said, live without consequences. More men without consequences. They don't care whether guys rob other people or not or kill them. As long as that guy is funny and he has swag. As long as he don't hurt her, it doesn't matter to her, right? Without consequences. Even if they get diseases. Right? Nobody ever wants to look at a Steve Urkel and say, hey man, they never want to say, well, I'll date a Steve Urkel. I'll try Steve Urkel. I never hear any black women say they want to stay Steve Urkel. They said Stefan, but they never said Steve Urkel. Nobody likes a Carlton Banks in black America. They don't like a Steve Urkel or a Carlton Banks. Now, me, I moved on. See, I gotta pick and choose my positions and I gotta go in certain circles. But at least I'm happy I know my percentage of being happy and finding someone in Asian women. It'd be a lot better. It was a lot better for me to just find somebody within two weeks flat when I went into certain circles and stuff. I didn't have to deal with it. I don't have to deal with no ex-boyfriend coming out of nowhere. Maybe their families of saying some stuff and racist stuff or whatever. Some of their families are cool. Some of their families are not. But I don't have to deal with her consequences at all. Because the men in that race, most of them are not from jail. Most of them are not plagues or do stupid stuff. They seem to make a lot of men happy because guess what right now? White men are going to Asian women. Black men are going to Asian women. To me, I think Asian women are winning right now. That white men are tired of white women and black men are obviously tired of black women. So, it's good. It's valuable right now. My type of Asians, man. Kama Sutra, man. See, the difference is that one thing about Asian women out here is they're more creative when it comes to sex. They're more creative and they're more open. They will literally let you do anything. You don't have to be no thug. You don't have to have this overwhelming confidence. You don't have to be this over masculine guy picking and bullying on people or punching people in the face and telling people they're punks and all that other stuff. They know just by knowing they respect the man and they're waiting for that fight or flight moment. Hello? Yeah, what happened? I didn't say call. I said I'm gonna call you. I'm walking up there now. What? Oh, sorry about that. Like I said before, they're more creative with sex, man. They created the Kama Sutra, man. They tend to be more open when it comes down to certain dudes' flaws, and they try to, help the man with their flaws, and they're trying to make the guy happy, even if they're not satisfied themselves. And then they sit down with their man and say, okay, you're not doing this for me, not doing that. Let's fix it. They're more sexual problem solvers than black women will ever be. Even white women. They go to the easiest disfunds. The easiest settings for men. So when women say, when dudes say that not all of them are like that, ask them this question. Ask all the men this question. Ask anybody this question. If someone tells you that there was a high priced diamonds in a landfill, would you look for them? Would you look for high priced diamonds in a damn landfill? If someone told you that, yo, it's some diamonds that's $1 million diamonds somewhere in this landfill, would you go looking for it? And then that'll tell you the questions and tell you what kind of person is giving you that damn stupid ass advice of saying, hey, not all of them are like that. Not all of them are like that. If you go here and here and here, you're going to find the right ones. Trust me. I listen to these guys. I dedicated 2-3 years listening to these stupid ass people. Oh, you need to go to this here, right here. You need to go to this book club. You need to go to this church. You'll find them right there. I found out that all of these women had representatives, meaning that they wasn't who they said they was in the beginning. And they all turned out the same. No drama, no stress, good cooking, and tight. Right. Always like that, man. Like I said, Asian women are killing it. Now, I'm going to bring this to Pablo Escobar. Everybody know Pablo Escobar, right? This is the resemble of what black women do with certain black men, right? They get with certain black guys who all these dudes do is create enemies. And these guys are destructive and dangerous. But they don't care as long as they feed in that lust for being with a dangerous man. Ooh, I'm so loving. I love this Resh. He's so masculine. Like Pablo Escobar. He was taking people from their families. He was selling drugs. He was making crack addicts. He did a lot of stuff. Hurt a lot of people. But he had an infinite number of women, including one of this journalists who snitched him out when he was gone, so she can get some TV time and a little bit of fame, while his wife had to go in hiding. Right? But his wife knew about it. She paid the price for it because she had to take her kids out of Colombia. See, when women get with certain guys who they so loud and they overbearing and they walking around with their chests all out, you don't understand that creates enemies. And with enemies creates factions. The solely purpose to go against you. You calling people incels and calling them names and saying how they ugly and they can't get women and they mentally ill. You're going to have a whole bunch of men come together and do what they need to do to get you out of here. And I'm not talking about any violence, but I'm talking about a countermeasure for them. Where you're going to see them overall start making things like the LGBT did. Where if you talk about them, you're going to be attacked full force. So at some point, you're going to get a lot of men who group up together, who can work side by side with each other, and they gonna start gaining some type of real power. And then if they don't have no power, then they're gonna try to silence you. And they're gonna try to use different tactics on you where you ain't gonna like it. Just like how Pablo Escobar was doing all this reckless stuff. And everybody he hurt, everybody he did dirt to came together just to take him down. And then the people within America came in and said, yo, we don't like this guy either. We want to knock this guy down a peg. There's other stuff that they was doing, but they said, no, we gonna give you the training. We gonna help you out to take this dude down. Get your revenge. You really think that if the United States or any other country or any other organization will sit back and look at a group of men and say, hey man, I see y'all getting made fun of. I see y'all getting laughed at by your own people. I'm gonna fund y'all one day. I want to see y'all win because I'm tired of that person talking that trash. I'm tired of them saying what they're saying. I want you to shut them up. This is what's gonna happen to some of these people out here who think that they big and bad and they got all the women and they can talk about people and call them incels. One day, the people you talk about are going to be funded and helped by other people who want to shut you up for keep talking and think you reckless and think you can say whatever you want. It's going to happen sooner or later. Just like the LGBT community who got allies in powerful places now. They're dangerous now. You say a couple things and you make certain videos, it's off. But imagine that with certain guys. The right leader will look down and say, hey, I want to help these guys. I'm going to fund their stuff. They got a point about this stuff. And you won't be able to say the things you say without having the full force. See, when Pablo Escobar finally faced consequences, he was chopped down by all the people he did dirt to and said stuff to. Then he had the power of the United States and his own government against him. He wasn't powerful no more. And the women that loved him, they all ran off and tried to benefit from him after he was gone. Just like what black women do to these street thugs and all these other stuff. None of these women can ever be a Adrian, a virgin, and a woman who stick by her man through thick and thin, who wasn't no street dude. She stick through Rocky when he lost, when he won. She was there from his training sections. She shut it up. She gave him encouragement. Black women can learn a lot from Adrian, but none of them can ever marry her. I would love to have a couple of black women that is like her. But mind you, it's not going to happen. You'll find a better Adrian prototype in another race than in black woman, man. She didn't like any other man. She liked it Rocky only. Now, this is the truth on why a lot of people in Japan, they went herbivore and they stopped dealing with women because the price of being with women got too much. Where guys in Japan were dying from overexhaustion to try to make their wives happy by bringing in money. And they wanted the stuff to change for them. So they're making sure that the government and the country dying slowly until a little bit things alter themselves. So the women have to pick up the mantle. They got to. And now the women are lonely up in there. You would say, and I heard a video say, well, the men are just committing suicide a lot from not having sex. No, the women are doing the same thing too. These power women doing the same thing too. They think something wrong with them because they're like, oh my God, why our men don't like us? Some of them can't handle this shit. The men are just saying, fuck it. I'm not gonna be normal. I'm not gonna run myself in the ground for women. They got more balls. And they got more gumph and more spirit than black men. Who, one dude on here took a shot at their generals. But the fact is, they got more control over their situation with their women than you do over here. and you so-called packing, right? But they don't allow these women to get super fat. And they don't fall prey to their women. They don't fall prey to sex. They're doing a better job at standing off their women, because in some women are changing their minds. But these men are not trying to put their body and their mind on the line for women no more. So they stood up and say, no, we're not going to overwork ourselves and die from overworking. We work too hard. We do too much in this society. So let me back the fuck off and be who I want to be. They were the MGTOW men. This is the elements that women like, man. Last but not least, man, when you go into, when you feel that every single time you get around other black people and you're fighting, and it feel like that it's you against all of them, because the way they look at you, or you can't engage any conversation with them because you like different things. This is why I said that some guys are not meant to be around black women. Overall, other black people. Because if it's felt like that you're always having to fight multiple people at the same time, metaphorically, then it's like, nah, I don't want to be around these people. I'd rather be alone. I'd rather be around some other race. At least I had 1 or 2 people who are racist, but other than that, I'm cool. I can feel comfortable around them. But y'all always talking shit and laughing and doing all this other crazy shit. I feel like I got a shield where y'all just hitting me with sticks and stuff. Like, I know I don't want to be that way. It's stressful to be around a bunch of people who continually try to conform to what they are, but never have respect for who you are. Like I said before, man, precious. I'd rather look at this every day, even without makeup. I'd rather look at this, because I know her fashion sense is not expensive. I know the fact that she's not wearing all this whole power makeup, and I know her hair is real. Low maintenance, better to be around, and catering to you. And they into the, like I said, they're more open to certain things like cosplay. And that's it, man. I'm just trying to look out for a lot of men, because some men really don't feel like they belong, but they feel like they got this very like, I don't know. It's a sort of like mind control they have. It's like, I'm black and I have to, always be around black people and always be around my own people. I don't want to betray my people. But at the first shot of the event, if you different than everybody, you're not going to find somebody like yourself. 9 times out of 10, you always going to be either alone if you're in the black, if you just stay in the black America and try to be around black people, you're not going to find people who like you. If you're a perfectionist or an expert in something, you're not going to find them, because you see that most of the time, most black dudes are two-faced. They act around you. If you like anime or games, they act different around you than they act around somebody who in the street. So they always code switching. And that causes the same thing with the women. They always trying to be the good person and then try to be the bad person. And that's why half of them develop multi-personality disorders. That's why they gain that. Because they always code switching or trying to pretend like there's something they're not. So you can't even hang around the men like that all the time. You can't trust them because they always throwing you under the bus for women. So it's better off. It's like, yo, I don't think I'm made for black. I'm not made for to date black women, man. I'm just too different than they are. I'm not going to try. I'm just going to walk over to the other side. And if I have problems walking over, at least I'm going to find what I want. At least I'm going to get what I want if I find it over there. The percentage is going to change. Somebody's not going to point at a landfill and say, yo, it's diamonds over there. No, they're going to point in the trash. They're going to look at the trash can and say, yo, I think somebody dropped diamonds in that trash can. All you gotta do is get some gloves and be like, boop, you find it. It'd be an easier time looking in a trash can for high-priced diamonds than a landfill. That's the comparison. The comparison of Black America when it comes to dating is a landfill. You're not gonna find what you want in a landfill, but you're gonna find what you want in a trash can. All you gotta do is dig for it a little bit. It ain't gonna have that time. You're not gonna waste that much time. That's a couple hours. Translate that. That's a month or 2 weeks to find what you want. And the vet the chick. That's about 2 months right there tops. With these mind controlled black women and whatever in America, it takes too much of a time just to vet them. Even if you can get them, they're not gonna show themselves right now. They're not gonna show themselves in a year. They might show themselves in year 2. Don't be with the hassle. Don't try to push yourself to be something that you're not. Don't try to conform to what they want you to conform. Be yourself, and you will live a better stress-free life. You will live a spiritually in tune life where you're not gonna be around people who drain you. You're gonna be around people who want to keep giving you energy, and then you can bounce off each other. Be around somebody who's not gonna have you spend money over just to make them happy. Don't be around somebody who's gonna make you be this consistent entertainer for them, for their amusement. And then when you don't become that consistent entertainer for them, they go to the next guy to be the entertainer for them. Be with somebody who's calm like yourself. And most of the time you'll find somebody they're not even in Black America, man. Even the ones who, like I said, even the ones who say that they not like the other ones, they always seem to get along with these women. Men always make a distinction not to hang out with certain dudes because it makes them look bad, but they always want to stay together. I'm just looking out, man. And if you got a problem with what I say, rebuttal me in the right manner without insult and without saying any type of the insult words.